ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another episode of the CD Racoola Show. Today we'll be driving a wooden stake through the heart of the 1992 film Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you follow this show, then you know that there's one thing that I love talking about more than anything else, and it's vampires. Before we get into this 90s beauty of a film, if you guys please could just hit that subscribe button, you know the one. It's blood red, that button is, for crying out loud. Okay, so moving on here with this movie, and yes, this is the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer that starred 90s it girl Christy Swanson as cheerleader turned vampire killer Buffy Summers. Not the television show starring Michelle Gellar that ran from 1997 all the way through 2003. More people saw the television show than have seen the movie, I feel like. The television show was much darker than the film. I liked the show, I really did, but I prefer Buffy the Vampire Slayer film over the show. I would say that this film certainly falls under the definition of horror comedy. This movie just was a little more fun than the television show, and I like to have fun. But to each their own, you know, maybe some of you like the television show more. I did really like this movie when it came out, and I still really enjoy it to this day. I mentioned earlier that it was more along the lines of horror comedy, and is a pretty easy and fun watch. You aren't going to be scared out of your mind or anything watching it, but you will be entertained, that's for sure. The basic plot isn't super in-depth, with a high school cheerleader that unknowingly has been chosen to be the Slayer. Vampires taking over the town, and she and a few helpful other characters get together to battle the vampires. Ending, of course, with a huge battle royale at prom. You know, every high school movie of any kind has to have an ending prom scene. I just feel like that, don't you? Think Van Helsing meets Alicia Silverstone in Clueless, meets Kirsten Dunst from Bring It On. And basically you'll have yourself Buffy Summers. What a great movie name that is, Buffy Summers. Sounds like an American Gladiator or something. Speaking of American Gladiator, I did try out for that show in the 90s. They didn't cast me because they said I looked too old. Can you imagine that? I mean, me, come on, too old? No way, they had no idea. I had a lot more hair back then. Speaking of cast, the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer was actually the bomb.com, as we used to say in the 90s. Lots of goodies, including Hilary Swank getting her start in this movie. How about that, Hilary Swank? Christy Swanson as Buffy, as we mentioned earlier. Donald Sutherland in this film. Donald is certainly no stranger to horror acting in tons of films, but I especially liked him in an Invasion of the Body Snatchers. What a hit that was! What a classic, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Luke Perry, another big name in this film. David Arquette, getting him some screen time here. Love David in Scream. And he was also in Bone Tomahawk. Bone Tomahawk was way scary. And you don't usually expect that of a Western film. Rutger Hauer starred as Lothos, the big bad head vampire. Rutger Hauer just looks like a vampire in real life to me. Though his look in this film wasn't so scary, in Buffy, he was plenty scary in the 2004 made-for-TV miniseries Salem's Lot, which he also played a vampire. Seth Green, also a vampire in this film. Last but not least, you had Paul Rubens rounding out my favorites of the cast as the vampire Amelin. He had some seriously hilarious hair. Like, how much hairspray did he use on that hair? His look was certainly, not scary, but I do think Pee Wee Herman, the character Rubens was most famous for, could, certainly be scary. I mean, imagine an evil Pee Wee Herman chasing you on his bike. Scary, scary, scary. I mean, the cast made this film, and its fun premise really set it apart for me. Going to get some low marks, of course, on the old scarometer, because it just wasn't scary. But it is definitely on my list as a fun, little easy watching horror film. It's certainly entertaining and spawned the entire Buffyverse and an entirely new generation of fans well into the early 2000s. I would like to thank you for joining me here on this episode of the CD Racoola Show. And if you could hit that subscribe button, you'd certainly bring a tear to this 600-year-old vampire's eye. If I hadn't dried up years ago and I could actually cry. I certainly would. I would shed a tear for you guys. Every little subscriber counts, and I always show you guys love. Please join me next episode of this show when I take a look at my top 10 favorite demons of all time. Oh, demons are horrifically fun. So till next time, my little bloodbags out there in YouTube land, remember old Buffy Summers' quote, "The hardest thing in this world is to live in it." Buffy was so wise. Too bad she was a vampire slayer. No friend of mine. I'll see you guys soon. Maybe even a little sooner than you're anticipating. Ta-ta, my dears. Ta-ta.